Folks, it's futures time again on That Betting Show. He's Teddy Sabranza. Give him a follow on Twitter at Teddy_Covers. I'm Donnie Rightside at Rightside VP. We talked about Super Bowl futures, Teddy, but now we're going to shift it over to the AFC. We know the players in this game. It always starts with those New England Patriots at the top of the heap, coming in right around 3-1. You got Kansas City, Cleveland, Indianapolis, and the Chargers, but it all runs through. Look, we're not talking about winning the Super Bowl here. It's making it to the Super Bowl to cash this future. Home team is going to have a big say in what's going to take place here for the playoffs, and we can't overlook, once again, Teddy, the Patriots at home. It's hard to beat them there. They lead the charge right here. Do we see value moving forward with the AFC with the New England Patriots?
Oh, well, I mean, the Patriots have been the class of the AFC for 2 decades, flat out. And an organization that whatever trends you're looking for, the Patriots have not followed them because their consistency has been phenomenal. I guess the trends are all pro New England when it comes to winning games, covering point spreads, covering games in October, covering games in January in Foxborough. But make no mistake about it, the defending champs lost a ton in the offseason. I know we say this every year for New England, but their losses this year, the best pass rusher, best offensive lineman, best wide receiver, or the best receiver in Gronk, significant poaching from the coaching staff, et cetera, et cetera. The Patriots lost a lot. If you're talking about 3-1 right now to win the AFC, no, that's not a value bet. It's not a bet I would even consider.
Teddy, now we take a look. Obviously, we know we always joke about saying it's the birthright for the New England Patriots to get to the Super Bowl. That next level tier teams like the Kansas City Chiefs at this point, the Cleveland, I can't even believe I'm saying the Cleveland Browns are in that next level, but they are currently odds-wise the Indianapolis Colts. We've always seen Indianapolis as that next rising and up-and-coming team. And I still look at Cleveland, Teddy, because I know all of the athletes are there. All of the talent is there to make a run, but I haven't seen it done yet on the field. This is an organization not used to winning at this point, and yet they sit here at 7-1 for a chance to win the AFC.
Yeah, and I mean, look, when you talk about teams that have upside, Colts have a ton of upside. Browns have a ton of upside. And remember, Cleveland is not a wise guy favorite. The wise guys are convinced that now the Browns are actually good. They're overvalued after they were betting on Cleveland for 2 years straight when the Browns went, were they 1-31 over that 2-year span, or was it 2-30? I don't remember. But the bottom line is the wise guys are convinced that the cart is ahead of the horse when it comes to the Browns. I'm not buying that for Cleveland. I am a Browns believer coming into the season. Why? When you have that many high draft choices for that long, you get a roster that has talent. We saw a breakout season for the Jags 2 years ago in kind of a similar spot when they were really good. And Cleveland looks like that to me on paper. Now, does that translate to postseason success? Not necessarily. A team that, the coaching staff and the players don't have a lot of experience there. That's why of the two futures, Indy might be the one I'm more interested in, because that, for as young as they are, the veteran quarterback and Andrew Luck has been there. I love every move the Colts. I mean, I shouldn't say I love every move, but I love in general what Indy did this past offseason. And from a scheduling standpoint, the Colts' schedule is very, very manageable. There's one future I'm going to bet in the AFC. It's probably going to be on Indy.
No, it's interesting, Teddy, because we take a look at that top five here. Of these top 5 teams, 2 of these are in the same division, and that's going to be Kansas City sitting around that 4-1 level, and the Chargers at around 7.5 to 8-1, depending on where you're shopping at there. When you take a look at betting 2 teams that are in the division, because you see a big difference here. Kansas City, obviously the clear favorite to win the AFC West, but we're still waiting to see if Tyreek Hill is going to get suspended, how they're going to bounce back this year, year 2 coming back. But looking at these 2 teams here, does that maybe, shift your focus elsewhere, saying, you know what, I don't know if I can bet because these 2 teams are really good and going to beat each other up in the same division, whereas we always look to the Patriots, Teddy, and say, you know what, they go 5-1 regardless every year, it seems like, in the AFC East.
Yeah, I mean, that is an advantage for New England, but that being said, KC could get swept by the Chargers and still go 4-2 in division. And no surprise here if the winner of this division goes 5-1 in division, which is probably what the Patriots are going to do. When you talk about Kansas City, again, you're getting less than half the return than you are on L.A. For the Chargers. But I'm a firm believer that the Chiefs are the better of these 2 teams. They were last year. They've owned the Chargers. The only win that the L.A. has over KC in the last half decade came in a game they absolutely stole. Mahomes isn't going to get worse in the offseason. Maybe defenses have figured out something to slow him down, but they have an elite quarterback, and defensively, Chiefs aren't going to be worse than they were a year ago, if I'm going to bet, again, one of the two futures, it'd be on Kansas City before I bet the Chargers. Phillip Rivers, maybe there's a reason that he's never been in the Super Bowl. LA's always been good. They've never been great at any point in the Phillip Rivers era.
And also keep in mind that Kansas City, big home field advantage. Also, the Chargers giving away that home game, Teddy, to play in Mexico. So that could be a deciding factor. Real quickly here to get some long shot thoughts here. Steelers 10-1, Jags 16-1, Titans 30-1 to win the AFC. If I was going to take a shot, I'm still going to stick with my same original analysis that we had from the previous videos. I think the Steelers may be 10-1 at that shot. If they keep it together, win that division, they could be as talented as anybody in the playoffs. Any long shots, Teddy, that you might be looking at here for the AFC?
Not yet. But I'll tell you two I'm going to keep my eye on. I'm going to keep my eye, and again, I'm not convinced I get to the window with either one. But let's see how Sam Darnold looks running that Jets offense coming out of the gate. And let's see how Josh Allen comes out running the Bills offense coming out of the gate. And again, yes, I'm talking long shots. I'm talking lottery tickets. I'm not talking teams that are expected to be contenders. But I wouldn't be surprised if one of those two teams, Jets or the Bills, ends up being a good notch or two better than people expect. There is talent on those squads, despite their recent track records of failure.
Super Bowl previews, check. AFC previews, check. The NFC is on deck next. Stay tuned for more on That Betting Show. Once again, your one-stop shop for all your sports betting needs. He's Teddy Safransky. Give him a follow at Teddy_Covers. I'm Donnie Seymour, Rightside VP. We'll catch you with the NFC Futures Show shortly. Stay tuned.